It's summertime. What better way to kick back and relax than to win some crypto? All you got to do is be a subscriber and like and comment on all of our videos during the months of July and August for your maximum number of entries. We'll have 17 winners and it's decentralized, so you get to pick the crypto, any coin that you want if you are a winner. So make sure you subscribe and get your chance to enter today. Hey Bit Squad, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to show you guys an interview that I did with Crypto Rich, where I talked a lot about IOST, explained it to him, and then he explained PirateChain to me. So PirateChain is a privacy coin, supposed to be totally and completely private, supposedly the most private. A lot of different projects claim that, but you know, this is one where he really explains how the privacy features work. Obviously, I talk about IOST, so if you're not familiar with IOST, then definitely make sure you watch the beginning of this video. But big shout out to Crypto Rich for having me on his show. Definitely wanted to, put this video also on my channel so you guys can see it. If you would like to subscribe to Crypto Rich, you can do that down below. I have the link at the top of the video description. And if you would like to subscribe to me, click the subscribe button. It's very easy. So that's all we got. Let's get into the interview, guys.
Hi everybody, this is Crypto Rich working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. I have with me a YouTuber on the moon, BitBoy Crypto. We're going to be talking about IOST and PirateChain. And before I introduce him, I want to let you know that this is not investment advice. Do your own due diligence. Do not invest any more than you can afford to lose. All I'm doing in this video and all my other videos is sharing with you what I'm discovering as I travel along on the blockchain. And comments, questions, subscriptions, all that stuff to my channel and BitBoy's channel, all of that in the description below. I think that's it. Is there anything else I should say?
No, just say not financial advice like 7 more times, and then maybe, you won't get
financial advice, not financial advice, not financial advice. That's 3 more times.
That's enough times. That's enough.
That's enough times. You should do your own due diligence because I can't count. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. BitBoy. I'm going to call you BitBoy and I'm going to call you Ben and stuff.
Either one is fine.
Either one works, right? Do you just want to say a little bit about yourself, how you got into crypto and what you do and who you are and why you are?
Yeah, so I got into crypto in 2012. There was a software I was buying, and the developer of the software, started taking Bitcoin, and it was very difficult to buy back then. Certainly much more difficult, but the price was a lot better. $12 when I first got in. I made a good bit of money, off the rip, and I wish I would have held on to all the Bitcoins I had back then, but I didn't. I sold and made some money, but definitely some regrets I have not holding on, for the long haul. Definitely we're talking about, 7 to 8 figure differences between what I sold it for and what it would have been worth during the bull run. So, got interested in it, but, didn't really understand the technology at first, and then when the run came in 2017, obviously I perked my ears up again, started, paying a little bit more attention to the community aspect of it. My friend talked me into starting a YouTube channel and doing news. So, that's what I've been doing since early 2018 is making news. I also have a cartoon, as you can see right there.
Yes.
BitBoy.
Yes.
So my executive producer of BitBoy and Hodl, which is the name of the cartoon, we actually meet once a week right now. We're writing story arcs and things like that. So we will have an animated, crypto superhero series out, hopefully by the end of this year. So, a lot of real exciting stuff going on along with, just my regular channel stuff.
That's amazing. Amazing. A crypto superhero. Now, I just got to say to everybody who's watching, I just finished recording a video and the Zoom box just opened up a window, which I closed, right, to finish because it finished recording, saving that file. Now, just for you, Ben, because I didn't say this, so I did tell you my background is in social work. I bought Bitcoin in 2013, and I didn't buy enough, but I didn't sell it. And
that's great.
In 2016, in the summer of 2016, I started taking a look at the price and what was happening. And in the late 2016, I diversified. I bought some ETH and some Monero and a few other ones. And in April 2017, I started running my channel. And for those of you watching this on BitBoy Crypto channel, what I do is I focus on projects that I like, long-term relationships with projects. So I don't do new stuff or anything. I cover this project again and 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 again. And one of the projects that I've covered that I've been involved in pretty much from the start is PirateChain. And BitBoy asked me a bit about PirateChain. I said, okay, well, we could discuss this on the video. And he said that he could talk about IOST. Now, I know next to nothing about IOST. So this video isn't about two YouTubers talking to each other about their respective channels in the space of the video. We're going to have a very focused conversation about IOST and about PirateChain. And we're going to start with IOST. Yes?
Awesome. Yeah, sure. Love to talk IOST. So
if you want to share the screen or whatever.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start here with, let's see here. Here we go. This right here is iost.bis.com. So BIS is an exchange, and IOST is on that exchange, but it was the original place where people could vote. So, I have a node on IOST. I have a block producing node. Right now, I think I'm coming in at number 38. Yeah, number 38. I've got almost 13.6 million votes on my node. So in the IOST community, as opposed to EOS, one IOST equals one vote.
Right.
And so it's a DPoS system, delegated proof of stake. And, my node has done very, very well. I mean, you have to have 2.1 million votes to get elected. So I am elected. I'm in the top 40. You look at some of the, people I'm around. Crypto Beatles has a node down here. Burmy, you may have heard of. Token Pocket, the Endless Game on IOST. So, basically how I got started with IOST is Crypto Beatles, sent me a message and said, hey, I'm working with this really cool project and they're looking for, content creators to help promote them and things like that. So I had done a review on IOST probably about a little over a year ago. And I remember saying in the review that, IOST could be a great project if it can do everything it says it can do, right? Like that's the great disclaimer of every cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
IOST is one of the few projects that has been able to stay ahead of their roadmap. So now they've launched their platform, and their platform is, has dapps on it. Their mainnet launched in February, and it is, working great. It's one of the big four platforms along with Tron, Ethereum, and EOS. Their transactions are super, super high transaction levels. But one of the greatest things, there's two things about IOST that I really, really, really love. Mm-hmm. Number one is the decentralization of the project. It's much more decentralized than Tron that has 27, super delegate or super representatives, as they're called. EOS has 21.
Ben, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Do you want to stop sharing so we can see you because you're looking on the screen? Yeah. And do you mind if I ask a few questions just to dig in, right? And just to make sure I understood you. So it's a platform protocol, like Ethereum is, like Tron is, that you can build applications. See, I didn't even know that, right? Okay. And it's a master node system like EOS is, and with a voting mechanism, and you're in the top 40, and therefore you get a share of the rewards from being a master node. Okay, very good, very good. All right, and
so the people that vote for me also get rewards.
Okay,
right. So that's why people are really interested. So the decentralization of it is great. Where you only have to have 2.1 million votes to get elected. So I think right now there's over 100 elected nodes, which is a lot more than any of the other large DPoS systems. But the reason why most people would be interested in this would be because you can make a lot of money with it. You can make a lot of money with IOST. I'm just going to share my screen one last time. I want to show you guys this real quick, this is stakingrewards.com, mm-hmm. which ranks every, node or dividend token. And you can see IOST is number one. It's the number one coin for rewards. The average is 15% over a year. So if you just held the coin and you froze it and voted for nodes, you would make 15%. However, my node is even higher. My node is like 33%.
How come?
Because the more people that vote, the more the rewards have to be split. So like Huobi that has the largest node and I think is getting like 14% of all of the votes, those votes have to be split or the rewards have to be split between a much, much higher number of voters. For me, I think I've got 54 voters total. A lot of those are coming through an exchange, so it's actually more than that.
Mhm.
But my rewards only have to be, split between 54 different voters as opposed to UOB that's splitting between, hundreds. And so your money can go further with my node. And so IOST, you get daily rewards, which is great, but the daily rewards are pretty small. You don't get
Yeah.
a lot. The big rewards are what's called the quarterly reward. So every quarter, if you were to vote with me for an entire quarter, like we're wrapping up quarter number 2 right now, then you get a significant amount of rewards at the end of the quarter. Depending on the person you're voting for, there's 5 different tiers, right? So they're based on your contribution. Well, I'm the number 1 content creator for IOST, so my node is tier 1. So which means that on the last quarter, I think my people split 221,000 IOST. And this next quarter it'll be much higher. I think it'll be closer to 6 or 700,000 IOST. So like if you had a million, I've got 13 million votes. You had a million, you would get like 1/13 of 700,000, which would be somewhere around 70 or 80,000 IOST. So it's a great way to make passive income. And a lot of people just don't know about it. I feel like when the word of IOST really gets out there and people realize how much money you can make on IOST without the price even going up, even if the price stayed the same, you would make with my node 33% over a year. I mean, those are, that's huge, especially when we think about once we get to the end of this year or the end of this next bull run, we'll have another bear market whenever it would be in a place where you can make passive income even during a bear market.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, all right. So thank you for that. And then it's a platform protocol ahead of its roadmap. So what is actually, before I do that, let me ask you, what about scalability issues, transaction times, and then go on to what it's building and how it's ahead of its roadmap?
It's very fast. It's very, very fast. And, the plan is to make it even faster. The scalability is also good. If you look at the number of transactions they're doing right now and the number of dapps they have, like, I think it's already proven that it's not going to get clogged and that it's working very well.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they've set up, like, to develop dapps and things like that, if, Ethereum, one of the reasons people don't like developing on Ethereum is because of the gas and the gas prices. But with IOST, you don't have that because you basically earn, it's called iGas. You earn their gas equivalent just by owning, just by holding IOST in your wallet. So you don't even have to freeze it or anything, to be able to develop. So they have a lot of plans to, continue to grow the number of dapps that are on there right now. The ones that are on there, the endless game that works with EOS. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are moving over from EOS to IOST. A lot of the developers are. A lot of the dapps are now trying to build their EOS dapps in a way that's also accessible to IOST. 2 of the bigger content creators that are, IOST specific, the Inside IOST podcast, and then Cellular Ventures IOST podcast. They're both, they both come from EOS. So
why is that happening?
I think centralization. I think a lot of people don't like the centralization of EOS and even Tron. The fact that you only have, and one of the reasons I was so excited to work with IOST was because I like Tron. I really like Tron. I wanted to be a super representative for Tron, but there's only 27. And right now, if you don't have millions of dollars, you're not going to be able to compete with the super representatives from Tron.
Right.
And especially with EOS is the exact same way. But see, with IOST, the way the community is built and the way it works with decentralization is you actually get rewarded for voting for smaller nodes because of what I said before. If somebody has 2.1 million votes to get elected and they get elected and they're able to become a tier 1 or tier 2 content creator or DApp creator or whatever it is to get those big quarterly rewards, then if you've staked all 2.1 million of those, you're going to get as many rewards with them as you would with, any other tier 1 content creator. Let's say even if they got 50 million votes,
Okay. So you stake the votes that you get rather than the coins, or you have to have a certain number of coins, because I saw on the screen earlier it's like minimum 1,000. Yeah. So if I were to go in and get a 1,000 IOST coins, do lots of content about IOST, and people can vote for me, and if I get 2.1 million minimum, then I get to be one of the master nodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that's part of That's part of what they call the partner program or the community node. So I
Mm.
started out as a community node, which you can run just by making content. But I've now upgraded where I'm actually a block producing node. So block producing node is kind of a step up. So I actually have a node that produces block on the system, and that's not required. So you can run one of those partner nodes. Anybody can join. If you just go to the IOST website, there's a place on there that'll show you how to create your mainnet account. And then once you have your mainnet account, you can basically run for office. You can run for getting elected. If you have enough money to elect yourself, which is probably around $25,000, then you can do that. And you can immediately, try to create content. And it's kind of scary for somebody like me who is the number one content creator for them,
Yeah.
because there's so much encouragement for people to come past me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always out there, getting the word out. I'm the president of IOST content creation. I feel like so. Always up for re-election every quarter, but trying to maintain and be number one, because I do passionately believe in IOST and I believe in the community, and the benefits to voting for IOST far outweigh any other. As you saw, stakingrewards.com, number one, the number one coin. So, I think once the word gets out a little more, people are going to know, and it's going to explode.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm gonna, if I were to vote, I don't have any IOST, but if I were to vote, then I'd get rewarded for voting. So, so
Yes.
the rewards are spread with everybody, and the master nodes are spread in a way. So if you're watching this and you hold some IOST, there's an invitation to vote for BitBoy Crypto come the next elections.
Vote for me.
All right. Okay. Now, what do? Do they do ICOs or decentralized ICOs? Are there any applications that are already running?
Yeah, we have some dapps on IOST that are currently running. Like I said, the Endless Game is a popular gambling dapp. IOST Play is another one. There are some games, IOST World, which is an offshoot of Neo World, Horse Saga. A lot of them are PC based. So I use all Mac, so I haven't had an opportunity to play a lot of the games. There's a Ninja, I think it's just called Ninja, something like that. There's one called the Faceless Game, I think. There's a lot of dapps. You can go to, you can download Token Pocket, which is a regular application for the iOS or Android store, and you can get to all the dapps from there and play and things like that. So IOST, the mainnet launched in February, so we still are very new. When compared to some of the like I said, the other big three, EOS, Tron, and Ethereum, in developing good dapps so far, but we're definitely on the way, and they're working with something called OnBlock, which is a kind of third-party company that helps gaming dapps and things like that. So I think we'll see a lot of really great IOST dapps in the future, and there's a lot of reason for people want to develop on it because of the way the gas works. So, and we will have there are some IOST tokens already that have been launched. Metanix, I believe, was the first one, and then Liebi, Liebi. They have a pool that pays dividends. I think it pays dividends in their local IOST token as well. So, the launching ICOs and things like that, or just launching tokens in general, there's only a small handful right now, but I'm sure like Tron, it will grow.
Yeah, it's early days. It's early days. All right.
Yeah.
Now, if people want to get involved, I'll have the links in the website and the Telegram group and all of that in the description below. Anything else you want to let us know about IOST?
Okay, so we can talk about the rewards, like on stakingrewards.com. Like, yes, there's a huge incentive for people to get involved in this project and vote, even if the price doesn't go up, right? But let's talk about the price for a second. The supply is 1/4 of Tron. So the supply is 21 billion as opposed to Tron is like 90 billion, I think, somewhere around there. They did a token burns. I can't remember exactly how many they burned, but let's just say it's 90 billion. IOST is 21 billion. If we were to look at the run that Tron went on in 2017, and we were to say if IOST were to go on 80% of that same run, we're looking at a token that could easily over a large bull cycle get to $1. Right now it's sitting at 1.2 cents, And if you look at the room for growth, when you look at the other three big platforms, EOS, Ethereum, and Tron, they're all top 12 projects and up. And even if you were to include Cardano in that whenever they finally launch a product, They're all top 12, top 15 projects. You look at IOST, and right now it's sitting around number 60, and you say it has the most potential to grow. It has the most potential to run up coin market cap. So there's not only a reason and incentives to join IOST because of the rewards you get, but also when you look at the potential for the price and where it can go, and the leadership of the project is really good with Jimmy Zong. I think there's a lot of things to love about this project, and I just want more people to know about it. So I just try to raise awareness everywhere I go about IOST.
Great.
I'm the IOST evangelist. It's me.
Clearly, Ben. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Now, this was meant to be a brief overview of PirateChain and IOST. We're not going to go into the whole thing, right, in a way that I might do a review or you might do a review. But if you want to find out more about IOST, go to BitBoy's channel, and I'm sure you'll find loads and loads of videos there about IOST. Right. Okay. Now, you asked me about PirateChain.
Yeah. I'd actually never even heard of it, and then I saw it. I was looking on CoinMarketCap. I think it's like right at number 200. Is that about right? I saw it on there. I was like, I'd never even heard of it. And then you mentioned it. And I was like, okay, well, tell me more about it.
Okay. So either I can talk or you can just ask me questions and then I can answer those questions. How do you
give us the overview. Give us the overview of what PirateChain is.
Okay. So it is, in my opinion, the most secure and most private of all the privacy coins. More private than Monero, more private than Grin and Beam, more private than Zcash, Apollo Coin, Token Pay, whatever you name, it is the most private of all.
So what separates its privacy features from something like Apollo? I just did a review of Apollo on my channel. I know a lot of their community watches my channel and things like that. So why would you say it's more secure than like Apollo, for instance?
Okay, here's the let me answer why it's more. Oh, this is physical crypto coins. You can buy a PirateChain coin and also a Komodo coin and some other. They're also going to be doing Electronium coins as well. So they're on pre-order. Okay, let me answer why it's the most private. This is the PirateChain block explorer, explorer.pirate.black. The website is pirate.black. I'll link to that in the description below. Let me go to it's a mined coin, Equihash. It is a fork of Komodo, which is a fork of Zcash, which is a fork of Bitcoin. It uses ZK snarks, and where Zcash has optional privacy, not all the transactions are shielded. And I'm going to see how I can do this. On PirateChain, every single transaction is shielded. There is nothing to see on the block explorer. Apart from the first mined coin, it goes from the mining rig to the wallet. You can see that transaction. So let's say you're mining PirateChain. It goes from the rig to your wallet, BitBoy, and then you send it or you don't send it. Nobody will ever know. There's no data to analyze. Nothing. So it's almost like an unknown amount of PirateChain from an unknown address may or may not have gone to another unknown address. That's the level of privacy, completely private. And with Monero, with Apollo Coin, Token Pay, Zcash, Zencash, Komodo itself, there is data on the blockchain that can be analyzed. So put very simply, say with, let me stop sharing, say with Monero, let's say there are a total of 10 transactions and 7 of them are private. Well, you can work out in the process of elimination the other 3. Well, you got the other 3. You can work out by tracking them, process of elimination, what the other 7 are. Because there's data that can be analyzed. With PirateChain, there's no data. Nothing. Okay.
So why do you think why would somebody want to use something that every single transaction is private?
Okay. People of course will want to use it for all sorts of nefarious means.
Right, of course.
For people outside of that, people will do that with Bitcoin and with cash, and HSBC did that with their accounts, and people will do whatever they do with whatever they can. But privacy, I don't think you can have freedom without privacy. It isn't possible. I don't want everything tracked. Sometimes there's this argument that if you've got nothing to hide, then you don't need to be afraid. Well, no, hold on. hold on, because the governments or organizations can take features that weaken privacy. Then those people can change. You get a new lot, and then they're using those features to persecute and control people.
Yeah, that's a big concern I have in cryptocurrency.
Yeah, you have to have.
People don't realize. People don't look at that. It's like blockchain and crypto is freedom. I'm like, yeah, they can also chain you with it. It's immutable.
Right. That's right. That's right. So you cannot have freedom without privacy. Unless I can withdraw myself from the public space, I'm not free. I'm in a panopticon. So for me, that's really, really key. And as what's happening with Facebook and YouTube, and governments getting more, and the government's getting more repressive and clamping down on people and clamping down on demonstrations and resistance and alternative viewpoints, privacy is going to get more and more important. I mean, like what's happening in China with the social control through all the electronic surveillance and applications.
Your social score.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
The old social score. Yeah.
Yep.
I always say, what's legal today may be illegal tomorrow. And that's what you got to think. I had an interesting chat with one of the guys on the team of Horizon, formerly Zencash.
Mm-hmm.
He'd opened my eyes to a whole new thing about privacy coins, which is, like, let's say you're running a business and every single one of your transactions is on the blockchain. Well, anybody knows everything that you spent money on, and they can just reproduce your business. They know how much you spent on advertising. They know how much you spent on equipment, whatever it might be. They're seeing every single transaction, how much you're spending. So, there's definitely a need for privacy. I believe you don't want every single one of your transactions to be public. My concern with privacy coins is that, for coins that have no option for public send, that to display your transactions publicly, those are going to be the big targets when it comes to government regulations. And, we know they're going to want to shut down privacy coins. And I wonder if privacy coins that don't have a public send feature are eventually going to just only become a black market niche. And that's my concern when it comes to privacy coins. What do you have anything you want to, say to that?
Well, I know, I understand Bitcoin is illegal in certain countries. Right? Good luck. Now,
yeah, I know, right?
Try making PirateChain illegal. And of course, once something is illegal, nobody ever breaks the law. Nobody ever speeds or takes marijuana where they in a jurisdiction where it's illegal, right? As you and I know.
Yeah.
Right? No,
but that would discourage those certain people from.
But I think, it's also, for me, it's about resistance and stopping oppressive government practices. Governments are there to serve people, not to enslave us, right? We vote them in, they're our servants. So there's something about that for me, right? And then with regards to PirateChain, I mean, I think there's also a human dynamic that governments push people that way and people push back. And there's a yin and yang effect where one gives way to another or something, right? Now with PirateChain, PirateChain is a fully decentralized. It's a community open source project. There's no company behind it. What they did was they started mining it sometime last year, in the middle of last year, I'm not sure exactly, right? Released the code, open source, people can mine it. People started mining it, and then it's going to be on some decentralized exchanges pretty soon. So what are they going to do? You can't shut it down. You cannot shut it down because the code is out there. You can't shut down Bitcoin. You can't shut down PirateChain. Now, the other thing about PirateChain, I said it's the most secure. So it uses Komodo's delegated proof of work. So here's the PirateChain blockchain moving along. Every 10 minutes, all the transactions are hashed and notarized onto the Komodo blockchain every 10 minutes. And then on the Komodo blockchain, every 10 minutes, those transactions are hashed and notarized onto the Bitcoin blockchain. So to do a double spend attack, you'd need 51% of the Bitcoin computing power and 51% of the Komodo computing power and 51% of the PirateChain computing power. Forget about it. You're much better off buying some PirateChain, which you can do up digital price and GraviX and stuff. And I started buying PirateChain when it was about 2 cents each. And I looked earlier on today, and that was in January. and I looked earlier on today, and it's about 21, 22 cents
Oh
because
wow.
they just had their first halving,
Oh, okay.
and they're gonna be a halving every 270 days.
Oh, that's quick.
Yeah, so it's not going to go down to 2 cents, and at some point, Ben, just like you noticed it at 200 on CoinMarketCap, when it enters the top 100, more people are going to get curious and more people are going to want to know about this. And then when they examine it and they watch all my videos about PirateChain, including a whole series of videos where I compare PirateChain to Monero, PirateChain to Dash, PirateChain to Grin and Beam, PirateChain to this one and that one. Say, oh, wait a minute, this is if what you're interested in is privacy, this is the ultimate privacy coin.
Yeah. Yeah, and I, it's one of those niches where, when people are interested in privacy coins, they want to know everything about everyone because you want to choose the best.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one I'll keep my eye on. See if maybe it's something I might make a video about in the future or something like that. So
Very good, very good. And the Telegram group's only got about 800 people, so it's still very, very small project. And this is nothing. Please don't take anything I say to knock any of the other privacy coins. Apollo Coin, Token Pay, Monero, they've all done a great job. They all have other features. I think Apollo Coin, you can build applications on top of it or
yes,
something.
yeah.
You can't with PirateChain. PirateChain is just
it's just privacy coin.
Staging privately. It's private money. That's all it is. So Apollo Coin and all the others have other features that are useful and valuable and valid. But if you want utmost privacy and ease of simplicity, PirateChain. Okay, Ben, is there anything else you want to say or ask before we finish up?
Vote for me. That's it. I'm just kidding.
Do you have some sort of catchphrase or something or a signature?
BitBoy out. That's all I say. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm going to say that, and you're going to say
okay.
Right, you know what?
What's yours?
Filling your pockets with crypto profits.
Filling your pockets with crypto profits.
Okay, could you do that in an English accent? Try again.
Fill in your pockets with crypto profits. Pretty good, huh?
BitBoy, I'm not even going to try an American accent, right? This is BitBoy out. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.